जब तक है संसार अमर है राम भरत का प्यार, अमर है राम भरत का प्यार। सुना भरत ने हुआ राम को जैसे ही वनवास, दौड़े दौड़े पहुँच गए वो वन में राम के पास। राम के बदले न था भरत को राजपाट स्वीकार, अमर है राम भरत का प्यार, अमर है राम भरत का प्यार।
सहनौ भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Last time we finished the previous chapter. Does anyone have any questions with reference to the previous chapter? I think nobody is new to the class, right? Right. Is anyone new to the class? No. Vandana Agarwal is our own Vandana, right? No. Or any other? Are you new, Vandana? Good question. Okay. So now we are at the middle of the book. This book is around 200 pages. And we are now on about the 101st page. So we have come to the middle of the book. What have we done so far? So far we've done 3 chapters. The first chapter spoke about how happiness is elusive. The second chapter spoke about why is this so elusive, because the base of all this is desire. And the third chapter spoke about how desirelessness is the only way to achieve happiness, and not only happiness, but also every material thing that you're looking for. So it's not like this is only for spiritual growth, but for every facet of life. Right. Now, how do we convert this into something, what should I say, something practical? So, how do you do that? You make that into the two Maha Mantras. I don't know if you've noticed in the first book, How Do You Know What You Know? Gave us the solution, gave the two Maha Mantras. This book is also about to talk about them. And when we come to the relationship book, also, we are going to talk of the same thing. Eventually, you all are going to say, if you're going to say the same thing, why are you writing so many books? Because if the thing is, the solution principle is the same, but associating it with the problem is where the problem lies. People are not seeing that that is the only solution. I mean, in terms of what you do, of course. So let's get on with chapter 4. Chapter 4, Unselfishness, Loving You, Happiness. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Everybody is very, very keen on how to find themselves. So here's Mahatma Gandhi's advice on how do you find yourself? You find yourself by losing yourself in the service of others. This is Mahatma Gandhi's advice to us. Now let's see what the chapter has to say. The mind and intellect. We face a constant barrage of thoughts. I want a watch. I need groceries. This music is beautiful. He's so badly dressed, and such like. Thoughts keep popping up. Vedanta, the Indian philosophy, classifies these thoughts into mind and intellect. This is something that I hope you all have all registered, that mind and intellect are not two boxes that we have. It is merely a classification of our thoughts. Mind refers to feelings, emotions, likes and dislikes, and fancies, and moods. Okay, so these kind of thoughts are referred to as the mind. Love, anger, greed, cheer, jealousy, and other emotions are of the mind. The mind feels like doing something or not, such as, I feel like a chocolate, or I feel like beating him. I like party, or I am sad, happy, is the mind. The mind is the irrational side of the personality. So please pay attention to these definitions. They're very, very important. What is the mind? It refers to feelings, emotions, likes and dislikes, whims and fancies, moods. All of this is the mind. It's basically the entire irrational aspect of our personality. So, what is feelings and emotions? Feelings are, oh, I'm feeling like, I don't know, having a chocolate, or I'm feeling like beating you up, or I'm feeling like not doing any work today. Feelings. Emotions. Oh, I love you. I hate you. Dil ubhar aaya. All these are your emotions. Likes and dislikes. I like chocolate. I don't like Karela. I like Vedanta. I don't like going to work. Whatever it is that what you like, what you don't like. Whims and fancies. Another very, very strange thing about the mind is this whims and fancies. Whims and fancies means मन में आया कुछ भी आया मन में. Anything comes into your mind and you want anything. I'll buy a flat. Anything. Do you need a flat? Do you not need a flat? Buy a flat. I will make my wardrobe all blue. Whims and fancies. There's no aage piche to it. Just woke up one day and said something. Many of our opinions are nothing but whims and fancies. Today we have this opinion, tomorrow we'll have some other opinion. We take other people's, what should I say, feedback about ourselves quite seriously. But it could just be a whim and fancy of that day. Somebody throws their arms around you and says, I love you so much. You're such a wonderful person. Next day, the person doesn't know who you are. Whims and fancy. Moods. I'm in a bad mood. I'm in a good mood. I'm in an irritable mood. Why are you irritable? I'm just irritable. Why are you sad? I'm just sad. Why are you happy? I'm just happy. Moods. There's nothing for the mood. It can come anytime. Okay, so all of this is the mind. Now, intellect. The intellect is discrimination, decision, analysis, reason, and judgment. The intellect pauses to reflect before action. It considers causes and consequences. Right? So, intellect, you can see, it's completely different thing. It thinks, it reasons, it discriminates, it tells two things apart. It can tell that this is a women fancy of mine, I should not go with it. Whatever. It can tell all these things. Every human has a mind and intellect. When the mind and intellect are not geared up to face the challenges of life, the consequence is sorrow. Right? So last chapter, we spoke about how there's only one cause of agitation, and that is desire. This is a theoretical construct, because what are you expected to do with that piece of information? So you can't get rid of a desire, you can't pluck a desire and throw it out. So you need some sort of action plan. What's your action plan? So that's when we introduce the concept of mind and intellect, being geared up to face the challenges of the world. What is challenges? Challenges are all your desires which are interrupted. There's no other challenge in this world. There's only one single challenge, that your desire is interrupted. Now, what are you supposed to do? Rehabilitation of the mind and intellect is the means to happiness. So, what do? You're improving the nature of your thoughts to be able to deal with whatever challenges life throws at you. And when you can do that, you are guaranteed happiness. Guaranteed happiness because suddenly now the control has come back to you. If you change the way you are thinking about it, you will have a very different experience. The rehabilitation of the mind and intellect, the rehabilitation of the mind refers to increasing its purity, while of the intellect refers to increasing its strength. So when you rehabilitate the mind, what are you doing? You're making it more pure. And when you're rehabilitating the intellect, what are you doing? You're making it stronger. This chapter deals with mental purity, and the next chapter with intellectual strength. Together, they create character and therefore happiness. Right? So we are going to only study about purity of the mind in this chapter. How do you increase the purity of the mind? Any questions up to this point?
Janji, we understand that purity, that mind being more pure is unselfishness. That's a fairly clear-cut equation that you've established. When it comes down to intellect, when you say the idea is to make it a stronger intellect, what exactly would that strong intellect, depict? What all does it cover? What are the dimensions of a strong intellect?
Only two things. One, its main characteristic, which is discrimination, and its secondary characteristic, which is control over the mind.
So a stronger intellect would be better on both these counts.
That's right. They're not really both. They are the same thing, because how do you have a strong discrimination but you don't have
By
control?
controlling the mind. If the mind is going haywire, then discrimination will go haywire.
Not only that, how can your mind go haywire if your discrimination is correct?
Okay. So it boils down to only a stronger discrimination. And mind control is a part of that discrimination.
That is your test of discrimination. Can you really discriminate? That is shown by whether your mind is under your control.
So discrimination can also have other dimensions, that I'm able to connect the dots properly and make sense out of it, which somebody else may not be able to. But I think the cookie crumbles when it comes down to mind control. That's where the discrimination fails. So that is the ultimate test of a strong intellect.
Yes. And all connecting the dots, everything comes under discrimination only. I mean, connecting the dots means what? Seeing relevance. No?
Yeah.
So that's your discrimination. Is this point relevant to this or not?
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, Gunjan?
My question is that we define mind as feelings, emotions, likes and dislikes, limits and fantasies and moods. So whenever when our circle of identification increases, and let's say to family, to more, world, so we start feeling their pain also, of not just human beings, but plants and animals also. So so we feel through feelings, through emotions. So, I mean, why it is not good, I mean.
No, that's what we're doing now. We are learning to identify with other things. That's what we're doing. It's not that it's not good. It's that if it is not accompanied by discrimination, you can end up hurting the person you're identifying. Okay, let's see. Take up this common example. There is a caterpillar that has woven itself into a cocoon. Okay, and it has stayed in that cocoon for a long time, and now it's coming out. A butterfly has to come out. Its wings have to get strength, so it's coming out of that cocoon. You see that the butterfly is coming out, and it's struggling, trying to break the walls of the cocoon. Such a delicate, lovely butterfly, and the walls of the cocoon are so hard. It's so it breaks your heart to see how much that poor thing is struggling. So then you break the cocoon. What happens then? You make the butterfly incapable of flying, right? Because that coming out is what strengthens those wings. So you felt very bad for that poor butterfly. You helped that poor butterfly, but what you did was harmed it. So discrimination has to work.
So there is nothing bad about emotions, but how do we address that emotion comes into intellect?
How do you act on that emotion?
Okay.
There's nothing bad in it. The whole chapter is on purifying emotion. Nothing bad in emotion.
Thank you.
Deepraj?
What is meant by the intellect functioning regardless of likes and dislikes when people can understand the cause and effect relationship thoroughly and yet still not act until they're motivated to? That motivation seems to be a function of the mind rather than intellect.
Yes, motivation is a function of the mind. The mind will not get motivated until your intellect discrimination works. How can you be motivated to do something until you understood it completely? So you're taking that understanding at a very superficial level. Okay, I understand that if I work hard, I'll make money. That doesn't work, right? You're not, these are just like, what should I say, superficial statements that one is making. Now I understand that if Vedanta University comes up, then we will do benefit, but I will do nothing for it. Means you've not understood that.
But I mean, from personal experience, I've seen many people who can argue a position very nicely, and they don't really have the counter arguments to that position, and yet do not follow that position. I mean, somebody might be very, they know the finances, they know how to do it, and yet not follow that. And especially with doctors, they know the health implications of what they're doing. They might be leading a very unhealthy lifestyle. They know the health implications, yet they don't decide not to change.
And that is the difference between intelligence and intellect. I've studied that, right? This is intelligence. Everybody has this information. Intellect is discrimination.
So you're saying that they just mucked up their MBBS syllabus
Yeah,
without
then you have that information, yeah. I mean, you see,
without reflecting on it.
yeah, it's not digested knowledge, it's not understood anything, but they know it. Like how many, like you can mug up the Bhagavad Gita, right? Doesn't mean you will live a spiritual life. And mug up doesn't have to be purely mugging up. It's like, I know the concepts. I know that Advaita, Vedanta, when people talk, we are all the self. Discrimination is not there. That's only information.
Yeah, he has read the bhashyas, you can quote it. So for all intents and purposes, he might seem like a very learned person, but he hasn't really understood it.
Yes, like a doctor who smokes. He hasn't understood a word of what he's talking.
Got
And Kiki,
it.
if a correct action under the circumstances is not emanating, like Deepraj's, situation where the person claims he knows it, we also think he knows it, but he's not doing it. It only means that he really hasn't understood it. I mean, we are using the term he's understood it because if the understanding is proper in the real sense, reflected, digested knowledge, then correct action or appropriate action must follow by corollary, right?
Must follow.
So if the other thing is happening, no correct action, no correct understanding.
Correct. So that's why we differentiate between intelligence and intellect. Intelligence is all the information you have. Intellect is the development of discrimination. And that is the biggest challenge, because even as you teach Vedanta, you can communicate information, but how do you communicate discrimination? That the person has to get on their own.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, Gunjan?
What does it really mean by digesting a knowledge? Like oftentimes when we sit and read something, we deliberately try to think upon it. And even after thinking upon it, uh, I mean, still we are not able to, apply those things, understanding maybe in real life. So what does it really mean by digesting, and what it takes to digest some knowledge?
What it means by digested knowledge is you've developed discrimination. What does it take? Reflection. Well, think about it till it makes sense. You can know so much, but you're not able to put that information together. Like the example of the computer. It has the whole escape plan on its hard drive. What should be done if a fire starts? There on its hard drive. But if a fire does start, the computer gets burnt. So it's not that information, it's development of discrimination. I mean, this is the whole difficulty of Vedanta education, or it's the whole difficulty of education. Forget Vedanta education. People gain a lot of information. Like a doctor gains a lot of information, but everybody passed the MBBS exam. Everybody has that information, but not everybody can diagnose. Not everybody can cure. Not everybody can prevent himself from smoking. So this quality of developing discrimination, which is what is Vedanta. Most people think, like, what are you guys doing? Same thing you're listening over and over again. How do you even communicate the importance of developing discrimination, or viveka as it is called? How do you explain this? Because you need discrimination to understand it. So you're like at a complete loss. So that's why, when we say, oh, we must have Vedanta courses, we must have residential programs where people will come and stay and learn. People are saying, yeah, okay, what? I attend weekly classes, so I'll learn. It doesn't kind of work like that.
So then, how do we know that what we have really digested and what is that we just know? Like, how do we?
Whether you act on it or not.
Okay.
Whatever your actions are aligned with. See, we have the concept that Mother India. Every Indian knows Mother India, right? Do you behave towards India as you behave towards your mother? So that means that Mother India is only lip service. We say it, but it means nothing to us. There's no discrimination involved. Like, suppose your mother's clothes were lying somewhere, would you go and throw dirt on them? But if we can throw dirt on our streets. So saying Mother India, singing Jana Gana Mana, saying what is that? Sare Jahan Se Acha. Now, you feel a lot of emotion also, saying Sare Jahan Se Acha, oh mera, feel everything. And then you throw all the junk on the road. Means you have the information, but not the discrimination.
Jackie, an extension to this is a clear-cut example that you claim to say Sare Jahan Se Acha and you're not acting on it. But in most situations, there is no clear-cut answer because you got a piece of knowledge, you have reflected on it, and you've really done your best. How do you know that, the final conclusion, inference that you've reached, which is the basis on which you will act, is indeed the correct one? Because I may have got that understanding wrong. I will still act on it. Yeah. For example, in this case, if I'm throwing the dirt, it's a contra action. So this was very clear that this was not desirable. But there are many situations where you may not be able to really make out whether your action was correct, which we are saying is a marker for that your discrimination was correct. So it's a little bit of a chicken and egg.
Yes, that is how it is, because that's the problem of absence of viveka. Na? If your discrimination is correct, you will do the correct action.
Yes.
How will you know that that action is correct? You need discrimination. Some people answer that by saying you'll know when the fruit comes. No.
The fruit is multi-causal. You can't even make out with the fruit.
Yes.
Yeah, I may do the correct action under the circumstances, but the results may not be what I'm desiring for various reasons. So how do you break this conundrum?
A lot more. Get up in the morning and study. What else can I say? Like, this is where you.
How will I still know? That means you will keep on wondering whether I really got it right or not, in a way.
You're always getting it wrong. Take the pressure off by knowing that you're always wrong. If you're not a self-realized soul, whatever you're doing is relative and therefore wrong.
In a
But
philosophical sense, yes.
yes, so therefore, I simply do the best I can because that's all I can do. How can a fifth standard student uh, perform like a 10th standard student? It ain't happening. So, what is a fifth standard student to do? Study fifth standard and gradually move up. There's no other way to this. It's a long, slow, step by step process. So some people say, oh no, so long. Who's going to do so long? The point is, every step you take, you get commensurate pleasure and productivity and everything. So even if the journey takes time, every step is giving you the benefits.
Yeah, okay.
Vedanta wisdom, who is that? Omkar?
No, that's me.
Oh, okay. Yes,
So
Bharat, you have been patient for a long time. Go ahead.
yeah, so discrimination includes goodness and purity, right?
Same thing. Oh, sorry. Discrimination includes. No,
Yes.
discrimination is your capacity to tell two things apart. So, to the extent you have it, you will be able to tell what is pure and what is impure. So, I don't know what you mean by includes it. If you mean that the better your purity, the better will be your discrimination, yes, that possibility exists.
Okay, the other way around. Better your discrimination, would that make you pure?
Yes, discrimination definitely, because when your intellect is grown, the whole personality has to fall in line. No? The subtler has grown, so the grosser will all line up.
So, I mean, how do we explain the aggressive bad people then?
Aggressive bad people are using what intellect they have. People like us are not using the intellect we have. Their discrimination is not so great. They just, whatever they have, they're using it. What can I say? The tortoise doesn't run as fast as the hare, but whatever limbs the tortoise has, he's using them, so he's moving.
Okay, but the aggressive bad person's intellect has no bearing on the quality of the mind, right? He'll just run through with what he has.
No, of course it has a bearing on the quality of the mind. As much as he can see, he's doing that, no? If he can see 2 feet ahead, he is doing that.
So impact on the quality of the mind in terms of purity, and that's not happening, right?
No way, because he's not working on that at all.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Yuvraj, can I just take 2 minutes of to extend Bharat's thing with your permission? I know your hand is up.
No, actually, my question is regarding your question. So chronologically,
Okay.
that came first.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll remember what I have to say. Yeah.
Okay, so Deepak said that you can do all the right actions and still not get the result. And you said that's possible. How is that possible? Because cause and effect should follow.
It will, but cause and effect takes time. Suppose I plant some seeds. I fertilized the ground, I planted the seed, I put water, I kept it in the sun. And then after 10 minutes, I go to see what happened. Nothing has happened. So I can't say, oh
Oh,
my God, I did this wrong. No, it takes
okay,
time.
so that means the seed has been planted, so the result will come eventually.
Yeah, eventually, yes. But at the moment, I cannot say I don't have a tree, therefore I was wrong in my action.
Yes, correct. Okay, thank you.
Yes. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Deepak Sethi.
Yeah, Janki ji, another conundrum is coming out of aggressive bad, which Bharat has put on the table.
Hmm.
You know, when we say aggressive bad, at least my understanding is, this is what I have read in the text, that aggressive bad means that he is using his intellect, but it's an impure mind, so he is kind of doing things which are wrong action, right?
You could put it like that, yeah.
Yeah, meaning
It's a selfish
passive
flow.
versus aggressive. Huh?
Hmm.
But I'm saying that he's using his intellect, but by definition, since his action is wrong and is going to cause him harm, etc., and because of what we said earlier, his action is wrong, which means his discrimination is wrong, which means his functioning of intellect is wrong. One cannot say that an aggressive bad is using his intellect, it's just that he is doing it in a negative direction per se. No, I'm saying his discrimination is wrong because the ultimate action, which is the test of how good the discrimination is, contra.
No, because his discrimination is restricted. For instance, suppose how many examples I'm making up today? These are all made up examples, okay? Suppose I want to, I don't know what, rob a bank. Right. So now I've decided that I want money. The quickest way for me to get money is to rob a bank. And this is the bank I'm going to rob. This is the way I'm going to do it. It's all a very, very intellectually planned exercise. Right. So this is aggressively bad. So whatever he knows, whatever he understands, he has executed that. Where his discrimination fails is, okay, so I'm going to work 6 months, rob this bank, and get my money. Okay, suppose what he is not able to see is what happens after the 6 months. So his discrimination is limited to that extent. Or he's not able to see what other cause and effect relationships exist. As discrimination goes, you get like a 180-degree view. This guy has got a 30-degree view, but that 30-degree view he's executing. So he's not wrong in how he planned the robbery, or, some bank robbers are so good, they never get caught. So they excel in what they do. So whatever they can see, they're executing, but their vision is only like that. They're not like seeing 180 degrees on.
Yeah. So what we are saying is that they are, in a final sense, their discrimination is wrong, but within the limited goal of robbing a bank, they are not passive. They are not using their intellect. They are aggressive because they're using their intellect and to correct results, which is a successful robbery.
Yes.
But
A
okay.
successful test. Now you see, this is what these businessmen also do sometimes. They plan their profits in such a way that they get like maybe 100% profit or something. And they're doing that properly. But what is its consequence on nature? What is its consequence on the labor force? What is the consequence on the customer? There's no discrimination there. I got my 30% or 100% profit, whatever I'm looking for. So it's restricted, but whatever the restriction is, they work in that.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay, so all those who have not yet studied this portion about aggressive bad, it's from Vedanta Treatise, where it talks about people who are doing negative things with the use of their intellect, doing selfish, self-centered thing with the use of the intellect, as opposed to good people not using their intellect. So that's what that comparison is about. Mommy.
Ji, Gunjan has asked a very relevant question as a follow-up. She said, doesn't it mean that those aggressive bad people are not using their intellect, but they're using their intelligence, which is, problem solving?
No, not, of course not. Intelligence doesn't do problem solving. Discrimination does problem solving. If I mugged up my mathematic tables, doesn't mean I can actually, I don't know what, tell the volume of this room, or decide what is the size of the furniture I must keep over here. So problem solving is intellect. That's not called intelligence, is information. Just because you have information on how to rob a bank doesn't mean that you actually do it properly. Almost sounds like I'm prescribing robbing banks. Please, everybody listen carefully. Everybody listens half and then they come to their own conclusions of what is said. Intellect is your capacity to discriminate. So all execution, proper execution, is based on that. So wait, let us go in order. Poor Momita has written her question a long, long time ago. Let's see. So Gunjan, you're okay with that. So knowledge is equal to intelligence, correct? Correct, Gunjan. Knowledge is equal to intelligence. Disclaimer, please don't rob banks. Okay, please don't rob banks, everybody. Then Momita. But we can still keep the right action in mind and not self-flagellate or give up denying. Because it takes such a long time to for correct action to happen. In the meantime, just the acceptance of its rightness and reaffirming it helps. Mommy,
This is from way back in the conversation.
Yes,
when
yes,
we
no.
were.
Yes, I got it. But you're looking at it in a very black and white manner. Like there is a right action and there is a wrong action. That's not how it works. There is a right action for me. So the right action is not like in a vacuum, this is the right thing to do. For instance, if I'm a very, what should I say, lazy person, okay, and I don't get up and go earn money, and then I depend upon other people to give me money, then just my getting up, working, earning some money is right action. So there's no, from a question, it sounds like there are two boxes of wrong action and right action. Not like that. There's a right action for me, and that right action is me taking the next step forward. That's it.
In the doctor's example, he knows smoking is bad, but he continues to smoke. However, like he can keep that in mind and sort of, determine that I do know this is bad, and therefore it, keep coming back to that. I will quit, or I'm a quitter today, or something like that.
Yeah, or just I will not smoke for the next 5 minutes. And if he achieves that, well, he did right action. Or I will, if he's smoking 20 cigarettes a day, I will make it 19 or 18. And if he achieves that, he's done right action. It's not zero or nothing. That's zero or perfection. There's so much gray area. Not gray area, so many steps in between.
Yes, the steps. Yeah. And we keep regressing and then coming back. So, but at least knowing.
Yeah, but don't say that, because you say keep regressing. That means your step is too big.
Okay.
Reduce that step. If you slide back too many times, I mean, of course you will slide, but if you slide back too many times, then it may be an indication of taking too big a step.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Prashant Nair. Can't vasanas overpower understanding? I think by vasanas you mean mind. Because vasanas is your understanding as well. Vasana causes both your mind and your intellect. So vasanas are not overpowering the intellect. The mind that is in tussle with your intellect. All these thoughts, their root is vasana, whether it's mind or intellect. So your what should I say? The pressure of thoughts from the mind can overpower the intellect. Yes.
Then that means that this is with reference to doctor smoking. Then that means doctor has got the understanding. Only that uh, when the doctor had that understanding, this life situation was comfortable. Now the situations has changed. Then his understanding has gone down. Can that happen? Uh,
Yeah, I mean, he was under some very stressful situation, and so he
situation.
took to smoking.
Mhm.
In any case, it shows absence of discrimination in both. Because, okay, so I'm in a very stressful situation, then what I should be looking for is a solution, not making the situation worse. Okay, so whatever stress I had of whatever work or marriage or children or somebody dying, whatever situation it was. Now, by my getting lung cancer, how am I improving the situation? Whatever it is, I'm making the situation worse, right? So, that much sense the person has to have. That, okay, let me do something that's not making this situation, whatever this bad situation is, let me not make it worse. But people succumb. And that's because the discrimination isn't there to tell us that, wait, hello. Okay, somebody says something very bad to me. And I get very angry in office because he said something really bad to me. So I do something stupid. So how did that help the situation? So if my discrimination doesn't work, I'm not helping myself basically. So my boss was very rude to me. I said, how dare you talk to me like that? And I threw my resignation at him and left. Then what? Then who is bearing the consequence? The boss or I? So I'm punishing myself because of something wrong he did. Failure of discrimination. Yes, Taruna?
Janki, there are two types of people, aggressive and passive, and in there's good and bad. So my question is, what is the basis of a person being aggressive or passive? And I'm asking this because by improving your discrimination, can a passive person become aggressive to execute good things?
Yes. What is the definition? In Vedanta, we use the word aggressive to mean a person who uses his intellect. A passive person is one who functions on the mind. So a person is waving and ranting and screaming. We say you're a passive person. Another person who's very calm and manipulative, let us say, we'll say you're an aggressive person. So passive is defined as functions on the mind. Aggressive is defined as functions on the intellect. Now, can a passive person become aggressive? Well, that's what we are all here trying to do. We were all functioning on the mind, and now we are trying to do something sensible, right?
Okay. So aggressive is not in the negative sense, means you're using your discrimination, what needs to be done.
Yes. Use your intellect. When you use your intellect, you are an aggressive person.
Okay.
Nothing to do with whether you're fighting, screaming. Most passive people are the ones who, in the worldly sense, are aggressive. They get irritated, they'll start shouting. That's passive. Yeah, aggressive is you got irritated, you didn't shout, you simply got even.
You simply got?
You got even. They say, no, don't get mad, get even.
Yes.
Why are you ruining your life because he's making a mistake?
Hmm. Right. Thank you.
And I hope you have all realized that nothing about what you all are discussing has got anything to do with the chapter. If you recognize that, I'm happy. All right. What are we discussing? That there are two things we have to do to make sure that we are happy. The first one is that we purify our mind, and the second one is that we strengthen our intellect. This chapter is only about
Purification of mind.
purification of the mind. Right. So now let us read further. Purity and the potential of sorrow. Happiness is an emotion. It is experienced by the mind. Therefore, the quality of happiness experienced depends on the quality of the mind. I hope you understand the significance of that statement. Happiness has to be experienced by the mind, correct? It's an emotion, it will be experienced by the mind. The quality of that mind is going to be the quality of your happiness. How can your happiness be any better than the quality of your mind? Isn't it? Unfulfilled desires bother us. So to fulfill the desire, obtaining the object is our first attempt in the pursuit of happiness. Every time you have an unfulfilled desire, what's an unfulfilled desire? I want something. I want a husband, I want a wife, I want to get rid of my husband or get rid of my wife. I want a curtain, I want a diamond ring, whatever you want. I want a job, I want people to love me, I need friends, whatever on earth you think you want. Whatever that thing is, that desire bothers us. So what do we have to do? What do we try to do? We try to get that thing, whatever it is that is agitating us not to have. So obtaining the object is our first attempt in the pursuit of happiness. We work hard for it. If we fail, we keep trying different ways and means. And rightly so. Isn't that what we do? Better to work on it all through one's life than give up a dream. So you're failing at whatever you want, you need to work on it and work on it and work on it until you get whatever it is you want. Some people say, I want it, and then they do nothing about it. Do you want to be married? Yes. And are you married? No. Have you found somebody to get married to? No. Are you looking for somebody to be married to? No. Then what on earth does this mean? I want to be married. So instead of just saying you want something and leaving it in the air, better to work on it and work on it and work on it until you get whatever it is you want. That's what they'll tell you. In any of these motivational programs, they'll tell you, what is your desire? And then how do you go for it? Vedanta also says that. Whatever is your desire, please go for it. No objection here. Then, where is the problem? We need to also consider what happens if one gets the object. Okay? So, do not be restricted in your thinking. You have a desire. You wish to obtain the object of that desire. Very good. Please work on it. But do not have a 30%, 20% vision. Expand your mind. Get a 180-degree vision on this thing. We need to consider what happens if one gets the object. It is not necessarily true that once one achieves it, one can then live happily ever after. This is the unconscious thing that is in my mind. That if I get it, after that everything's okay. That's not true. Sorrow can recur. And that necessitates the discussion on the potential for sorrow. Right? And because sorrow can recur even after you have achieved whatever you want, therefore comes a discussion on the potential of sorrow. Why does it necessitate a discussion on the potential of sorrow?
Because of our false belief that we'll be eternally happy after we achieve the object.
Yes, because if you have kept a potential of sorrow still there, then what have you achieved? Suppose it is possible that you achieve that object, and then after some time, you're going to become unhappy again. Then what have you achieved? And therefore, you have to think that have I achieved it? Now, what is the potential of sorrow still remaining? You deal with that also, no? So there's nothing wrong. In fact, it is encouraged that you go out and achieve whatever you want, whatever that thing be. Nobody is denying you, and nobody should deny you. But please also keep one eye on the potential of sorrow. That means the capacity of this sorrow to recur. You know what can happen. How will sorrow recur? I can lose the object. Having got it, I can lose it. Or having got it, I can be bored with it. Or having got it, I can, not be able to contact it for some reason. So many things can happen, right? That's the potential of sorrow. So you have to also keep one eye on that, and that is what it means, expand your vision. When we tell people expand their vision, they say, oh, you're telling us not to fulfill our desire. Who is telling you don't fulfill your desires? Has anybody told you don't fulfill your desires? Please fulfill them. But please understand the possibility of the recurrence of sorrow. That's the potential. So you got whatever you wanted. Now what's your potential for sorrow still left? Okay, think about that.
Continue one question.
Hmm?
Understanding the potential of sorrow, having the ability to deal with it are two different things, right?
Yes, they're two different things. At the moment, we're only talking about the potential of sorrow. If you have removed the potential of sorrow, you don't need to have the capacity to deal with sorrow because you're not going to get it. If you have not received the potential of sorrow, then you better learn how to deal with it.
And reducing the potential of sorrow is to reduce your desires. And that is the ultimate route for ultimate happiness. Desire eradication.
That we will examine now. What are we going to talk about? That we'll examine. But as of now, we just have to understand that if you're going to achieve something, after which there is a potential that you can reach sorrow again, then you have to consider what is that potential. That's the only point up to this point.
So potential of
After
sorrow is always there in any situation.
Right.
That will always be there.
Right. But have you considered it? When you're claiming that I have to get this, I have to get this, I have to get this, have you registered that the potential of sorrow is still there? What are you going so mad about it?
So if you're considering it beforehand, so there's a possibility that it will affect you less, or you'll be able to handle it or minimize it.
You've gone into something with your eyes open.
Okay.
Instead of
So we blindly encounter things generally.
So once we achieve that one, it is not going to turn in greed, which will again generate the sorrow. So
greed is one way, or you may lose the object, or there may multiple ways. You may not be greedy, you may want the same thing, but are you guaranteed this thing is going to last with you?
Janki ji.
Bharat, okay? Yeah, 1 second, Bharat,
Sorry.
you're done.
Sure. Sorry.
Yes, I may have a follow-up question, but I'll take it up next time.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, so I was saying that if I master the fact that there is potential for sorrow, it may actually impact my motivation to meet that desire for that moment per se. Because I'll say, like you said, what are you really achieving? Because I've truly understood that there is potential for sorrow. So why, why go all out to procure it and get it, etc., my current desire? And that's what we started off by saying, that you have a desire, go and get it. But now we are saying, be also aware of potential of sorrow. I'm aware of my potential of sorrow, and therefore my motivation to get it now gets dampened.
Then you will be miserable. Because that is not taking your desire away, right? You still want that thing, but now you're telling yourself, oh, but if I get this, then so many other things. So you're going to be miserable. So you don't have the option in any case of not going.
Getting it. So you get it, but no complacency and no belief that this is it. I'm sorted.
Yes, whatever that we are coming to. But only now, only this one sentence we had, which is that you have to then, if sorrow can recur, if you accept that sorrow can recur, then that necessitates a discussion on the potential of sorrow, which is what we are trying to do now.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so that's it for today. We will continue next time. Hari Om.
Hariom.
Hariom
Hariom.
Janki ji. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Janki
very
ma'am.
much,
Hari Om.
Janki ji.